What's up, guys? Before I start off this commentary, I have a request for all of you. I'm looking for some more shorter topics to discuss in my commentaries. Maybe I can throw in 3 or 4 in one video. And I'm looking for some suggestions from you guys. So if there's any sort of question you want to ask me, any sort of life dilemma that you have that you want me to help you make a decision on, try not to make it about a girl because I kind of get the same messages over and over again. It's usually something about, I want to ask a girl out, but I can't get myself to do it. I mean, there's only so many ways I can give someone advice on that issue, which is the one facing like 96% of teenage men. So if it's that issue, maybe think of something else. If it's like, I have a 10-inch penis but I can't get an erection from my girlfriend, then, I could say something creative about it. So, yeah. Or if there's just a world issue, a modern day issue, or... stupid fucking phone. Hello? Making a commentary. Yeah. Alright. Bye-bye. Okay, where were we? Oh, right. So if there's a issue, something that's maybe not too controversial, because I don't really want to offend a shitload of people, but I guess it wouldn't really be interesting if it wasn't controversial, would it? Why did I just all of a sudden get really far away? Oh yeah, that's better. Fuck! Stop barking! Well, now we're off to a good start, because everyone in the house is now going crazy. Okay, now that everyone has calmed down, and this commentary has already been interrupted many times, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I forgot what I was even talking about, so I'm just going to get on to the main topic of the commentary today, which is how some things in life work out in ways that we don't really expect. For example, after having sex with my girlfriend one night, she became pregnant, and we gave birth to a child. Literally, we gave birth. 2 Bucks Jr. Normally, I hate babies, but I love my son. Just kidding. I'm gay, so I don't give birth to children. We only adopt them. We, as in me and my boyfriend. I'm not actually gay. But this commentary was actually inspired by an event last night, something that rarely happens in my life, that actually worked out in my favor. I had an enormous English exam today, and you guys all know how I feel about English exams, and we had to write about a few books that we've read in the past. And honestly, this year I have not read a single book. Last year, I read a total of 1 book. Now, a lot of people have been coming to my videos saying that I'm like illiterate or something because I don't read books. I'm not necessarily illiterate, I read stuff like Sports Illustrated. I mean, mostly I just look at the pictures of the sexy football players, but that is some good reading. Sometimes I like to, just do some light reading of YouTube comments, stuff that makes you a bit smarter, so I am not illiterate. Moving on, I was going to go on SparkNotes and do a review of a few books so that I would at least be able to BS my way through it. But at around 8 p.m. when I was about to start doing this, I felt really sleepy. So I was like, oh, just hop in bed and take a nap, and my parents will probably wake me up later, and I'll be able to get to work without falling asleep. But they didn't wake me up. I slept an entire 11 hours because I am sleep deprived, and I woke up at 7. So obviously I was a bit pissed off and kind of worried that I was going to now fail this exam. However, when I got there, it turned out that the topic that was given to me to write about was perfect. I used the only book I had read in the last 2 years. That book I actually read pretty carefully, and I think I did really well. And it was an extremely hard test. So I was lucky that I had gotten a great night's sleep beforehand because my mind was just so focused. In fact, it kind of helped me figure out why I suck at English all the time, because it's really hard to be able to write flowery language and deeply interpret literary works when you're only running on 3 or 4 hours of sleep. However, when I was on 11 hours of sleep, I felt like I was Mark Twain. So overall, it worked out pretty well for me. And it's something that I wouldn't have expected to work out for me. So after experiencing that very little and rather insignificant event, I began thinking about how things kind of just unexpectedly work out for me sometimes. And it reminded me of something that happened in my childhood. Now, I could go off here and make a joke about how I was molested, but that would be of bad taste. So I'm just going to get right to it. let me just start you off with a one-sentence summary of what exactly happened in my childhood that was reminded of by me. Terrible sentence structure on that one. But anyway, when I was like 6 years old, I almost dropped a light bulb on some guy's head from about 4 stories up. Bam! That was just crazy. What had happened was, I used to live on a 6-story building, and I was going downstairs to go play some soccer with my friends, because basically in every country except the United States, kids just played soccer all the time. China was no exception. So I was heading downstairs, and on the stairway, there was a window, and there was a ledge on the window. And for some reason, someone had placed a light bulb on there. I'm guessing it wasn't working or something. So I picked up the light bulb and I inspected it, and I was like, this would be really cool if I dropped it out the window. And being the rather short kid I was, I didn't really get a good look out the window before I dropped it. So I kind of just stuck my arm out the ledge and dropped the damn thing. So I got on my tippy toes to see how exactly it would hit the ground, because that was the whole point I dropped it in the first place, to see how it would shatter. And I remember this quite vividly. It was about a 25 to 30-year-old Chinese man. He was, I think, either bald or had really short hair. He was wearing sandals because it was a summer day, a wife beater, as well as shorts. He was just innocently walking back to the building, and all of a sudden this light bulb just smashes right in front of him. And he looks up like, what the F? And at that moment, I realized, oh, shiznat, in Chinese, which sounds a bit like Ching Chang Hua? Not really. But I kind of realized that, wow, that could have been really bad. But at 6 years old, I didn't really understand the full consequences of my actions and the magnitude of effect that would have happened if the light bulb actually hit his head. Now, I did take physics last year, but I still don't know if he would have actually died or even suffered severe brain damage from the light bulb. Maybe it could have just, like, smashed on his head and broke into several pieces and not harmed him. Just a few, cuts. Or maybe a shard of glass would have just went straight into his skull and killed him. If that had happened, it would have just completely changed my life. I would not be sitting here commentating to you today. I would probably not even be in the United States. I mean, I don't even know what I would have done in that situation if some guy just dropped dead 4 stories below me. Would I have gone down there and saw if he was okay? Or would I just have ran back to my home and try to pretend like it wasn't me? It's crazy to think about how my life could have just been so drastically different if that had happened. And plus it was in China, where the whole court and persecution system is a bit harsher. So I don't even know what they would have done with kids back then. No, they probably wouldn't have put me in a sweatshop, but there might have been consequences. So, yeah. I guess this really has nothing to do with my earlier anecdote, because that was something that was unfortunate and turned out to be good. This was just something I narrowly avoided. So, but, it kind of reminded me of the thing, so I'm just going to ramble on like I make sense when I actually don't. There's also moments in your life where you kind of start doing something, not really sure where it's going to head, and it turns out into something that completely changes your life. I mean, sex changes just tend to make a pretty big impact on your life. So fortunately, I've never got one. But what I did do was 2 years ago, on December 1st, 2008, so 2.5 years ago, wow, it's been a very long time, I bought a shitty standard quality Dazzle capture card to make my first Halo montage. I had been playing Halo ever since like June when summer started, and I was quite addicted. I thought I was good enough to make an entire montage like the ones I'd seen on YouTube by people like Furion Campy, when I realized that I in fact sucked at Halo. So what do you do when you suck at a game but you still want to make a video for it? Well, you make a funtage, and that's exactly what I did with my friend. I went out and got my little Dazzle capture card. I even moved my entire desktop into the living room so that I could capture it, because I didn't have an extension cord. I captured all the clips myself. I edited it with Sony Vegas. It was my first time using Sony Vegas, a pretty complex editing program for someone just starting out. And I scrapped together this montage, and luckily for me, someone with 30,000 subscribers back then, which was huge, FP Walshy FTW, decided to upload my video. And my first ever YouTube video got like 25,000 views. And at the time, a lot of people did hate on it, but also a lot of people did like it. So it kind of encouraged me to just keep making videos, and look at where I am now. I'm sitting in my room talking to myself in front of my computer, pretending like there's people listening. So clearly one little thing like that, where I thought it was just going to be a one-time montage, turned out to be something that completely changed my life. And, I'm not gonna lie, this video game thing, I'm doing it, every day. It has been a life changer, as sad as it sounds. So I guess the moral of this commentary is, stuff happens. You really have no idea whether the stuff that happens is going to work out or not work out for you. But just, take life as it comes. I tend to not get worried when something bad happens because I think to myself, well, maybe it'll all just work out in the end. And, based on your religious beliefs, you might be a little bit more optimistic than other people, such as I am. But that is a story/commentary for another day. Alright, just a reminder, feel free to send me whatever dilemmas, topics you want me to talk about, or questions to me in the comments, and I'll consider them for my next video. See y'all later. Also, I've realized that I've been quite lazy with making commentaries lately. I'm making like one per week. If you guys can give this video 2,000 thumbs upses, I promise I will release one in the next 3 days. The reason I do that is because when you thumbs up a video, it helps get your friends to see it, and it just helps me get my videos out to a bigger audience. So if you guys can give me a little nudge, I will get right on that. And by that, I mean your cock.